Hey there, this is Lindsay Gordon, career coach for analytically minded people. And I'm kicking off a 10-day video series that is going to show you exactly how I get my clients from a state of waffling about whether they want to make a change and get them to decided, a clear yes or no, stay or go that works for them. So today, before we get into any of the learning about you, learning what's right for you, digging into strengths or values, we have to do a step before all of that, that is looking at the pressures that you feel. And we need to acknowledge those pressures and surface those pressures and release those pressures. Because if we don't start with the pressure, then the pressures are just going to come out in every single other conversation that we have. And these pressures are different for different people. There is societal pressure, there is family pressure, there might be cultural pressure, there is pressure from the workplace about what it means to be a professional, who is accepted in the workplace. And so there are a lot of pressures, and you may not know just how much they are affecting you or affecting the decisions that you're making. So I want to share with you the exact questions that I ask my clients so that you can ask yourself these questions and really get to the heart of what are the pressures that I feel. So here are the 3 questions I want you to ask yourself, or the 3 prompts to fill in, maybe I'll say. The voices around me are saying, I should be a this, I have to that, my career has to this, that, and the other. And once you've filled in those 3 prompts, I want you to ask yourself, what impact does the pressure have on you? And what would be possible if you could relieve that pressure? So go ahead and do that for yourself on your own time. Ask yourself these questions, see what you discover about the pressures that you feel and the expectations that you put on your job and the ways that you feel like you have to show up or perform in your work. And then what I would love for you to do, kind of as a bonus, is I love to play a game called Pressures Bingo with my clients. And once you have your list of pressures, you can compare it to the top 8 that I have heard over and over and over and over again for the last 6+ years. So I'm going to show you those now, and you can always come back to them if you want. But here are the top pressures that I always hear about. I have to be constantly advancing, and each role should be more impressive and senior. My job has to be saving the world. My job is my identity and it defines me. I should be farther ahead given my age. I have to keep doing what I'm doing so I'm not giving up after putting in all these years, either at one company or in one field or towards the field where you got your degree. I feel so behind and everyone else has it figured out. That is an extremely common one. My job has to be impressive and cool to other people. And then my least favorite one, because it basically is an umbrella for all of the other pressures, is I should have it figured out by now. So I see my job as sharing these pressures because every person who comes to me shares a version of these pressures. And I want to reflect that back and start talking about it and surfacing that, because the more that we all talk about it, how can we all feel behind? How can we all feel like we should have it figured out? How can we all feel like everybody else has it figured out? So the more that we talk about it and surface them, we will be able to actually do what works for us and create the conditions for others around you to do what works for them. So this is always the first step in the process. I hope you're able to take some time to look at your pressures, and maybe you even get to feel a little bit of relief once you really surface, acknowledge, and then release pressures. So that's the exercise for today. Tomorrow we'll be back to talk about the next exercise I take my clients through in order to be decided in their career. And I can't wait to see you then.